Alright guys, so now that we went through GBP JPY, we'll have a look at New Zealand USD. So what I failed to mention was this is the three trades that I took last week, at the end of or the start the first week of January. Um, yeah, so with no further ado, let's get into this analysis over here. So this is New Zealand USD. It's actually a trade that I failed to enter, and the reason for that was this pair I analyzed on a Sunday evening. So what actually happened was when I analyzed the pair, the market was around here, this area over here, and what I obviously looked at was for the sell indeed. um but obviously once the market opened, um midnight, the market, obviously you can see when I woke up the morning, this whole pattern over here was already halfway through, so there was no time for me to get into this trade. So what I'll share with you then is just the analysis on this trade. But yeah, like I said, I didn't take this trade, so let's just get straight into it. So with looking at this trade over here, you can see that it's a pretty straightforward trade. On the higher time frame, you can see that we have a touch over there. On the higher time frame, it is actually, I looked for the buy, for the market to push up, um but then coming down to the lower time frame and just zooming into the most recent structure, I could see that what we're looking at would actually be a sell. So then this looking at this, you can see obviously I have my 1 2, and then having this trend line right through there. And if you look at this, I have the 1 2, and then what I was wary of looking at this area over here was two things. Let me just log this down. So there was two things I kept in mind looking at this area over here. Firstly, looking at structure to my left, I knew that we could create a double top and then the market can move down. Or what can happen is that the market can create a third touch over here. The market can create a third touch and then move down. So what I did was I placed this the trade to enter. I placed it right over here at the double top area, and then you can see that the stop loss was actually just above the trend line, the top trend line. So if the market decided to push up to the top trend line and to create that third touch over there, I would still be in the trade, and then the market would go down. So basic formation that we look at there is a double top formation over there. You can see that the market pushed down, and then first targets was obviously this area over here. And keeping in mind why that was first targets over there is because when we look at the 1 2, we still know that that could be a third touch, so it's possible that the market could go to the upside. If not, you can see that we broke this area here very impulsively. So once the market broke this area impulsively, I knew that the possibility of going to the 90% rule over here is highly likely. So once I see this over here, this automatically becomes the second target. um so once it broke over there, you can obviously see that the next thing that we look at is for continuation patterns. You can see here's a continuation pattern going down. Depending on how you managed it, you would have been taken out anyways. And then just looking at this whole piece of structure over here, this piece of structure here, Okay, that's not perfect, but this whole piece of structure over there is basically a continuation phase. So here we have the impulse down. Let me just get rid of this real quick. So you have your impulse down, then you have your correction phase, and then the next phase you can see it impulsed right to this 90% rule over there. So keeping in mind that the second target is the hence why the horizontal line is over there. So looking at this trade over here, I'm really happy with how the analysis went. I'm happy with the touch, the double top formation, and overall happy with the analysis. And yeah, so that's how I analyzed New Zealand USD. That's my thoughts. Um, when when I got into the market, that's what I saw. That's what I thought. Um, and it's endless to see where the market can actually go from here now, because we can actually push to the downside. But like I said, the higher time frame structure actually allows us to go bullish, I mean. So it's going to be interesting to see where the market might hit next. Um, but that's the analysis on New Zealand USD. Like I said, this is a trade that I didn't take, but I analyzed it. Um, yeah. So guys, thank you for watching this video, and that is the analysis on New Zealand USD, and I'll see you next time.